Okay. Mic check, mic check. Testing, 1, 2, testing. Mic check, you okay? Test, 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 test. Hello there. Just fine. Why don't you fire me up in about a minute and a half or so? Okay, I'll be listening. Thank you. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Rocky Mountain College as we get set for a volleyball match between the Valley City State Vikings, coached by Michelle Micklejohn, and the Rocky Mountain College Battling Bears. So NFC Central battle here tonight, theoretically, Vikings versus the Bears, only we're going to do it with volleyball. And good evening, everyone. I'm Herm Elenbaas on K-Sky 94.1 FM and KORadio.com. You know, we just saw KSky.com. My bad, Jeremiah. That's an old habit. Going down Grand Avenue a few minutes ago, and I just heard Rocky wrapping up his Frontier Conference report. And Rocky is in a new convertible. So if you're around, you see a white convertible with a very snazzy-looking man with sunglasses on, that's probably our friend Rocky Erickson. Well, let's take a look at our sponsors. Rocky Mountain College has partnered with Urk Hotels for all 2025-26 streaming. Based in Missoula, Montana, Urk Hotels has been managing and developing lodging properties in the Northwest region for more than 30 years. With their partners and investors, they have developed and built hotels in Montana, Washington, and Idaho. They currently manage over 900 guest rooms, 22,000 square feet of conference space at Urk Hotels. They're dedicated to serving their people and properties. Thank you, Urk Hotels, for your support of Rocky Mountain College athletics. Well, taking a look at the just released Frontier Top 25, who's from the Frontier Conference, just released by the NAIA, the new top 25 in volleyball. Providence moved up a notch. They were number 5. They're now number 4 with their 12-1 record. They were in here and they handed it to Rocky a couple of weeks ago. Bellevue, Nebraska, one of the people that pulled a win over Rocky Mountain College last week, dropped one. They're at 8-2 in the 5th spot, still outstanding. Montana Tech is number 19. Dakota State is in the receive votes category. Carroll is in the receive votes category, as is Dickinson State. Can't say enough about Stormy Simeon. Let's see, she has a new name, Stormy Glenn, I believe, the coach of the Dickinson State Blue Hawks. She has gone in there and started to build her team around her style of coaching. Such a successful coach at Skyview High here in Billings, and now she is at Dickinson State. And look, she is in the receive votes category. So congratulations to Huntley's Stormy Glenn. Well, let's take a 2-minute timeout. We'll come back with more of our pregame. We've got Valley City State University Vikings against the Rocky Mountain College Battlin Bears back in 2. LA City State's Vikings come in 3-7 on the year, 1-4 in conference play. 3 teams yet looking for a win in Frontier Conference play this year. And one of those is the Rocky Mountain Battlin Bears, as they come in 0-9, 0-5. And what a difference to see some new teams playing home conference games here at Rocky Mountain College here in Billings, Montana. You know, the North Star Athletic Conference teamed up and became an enlarged Frontier Conference this year. So this is the first couple of home games other than some tournament action in a crossover last year that I was privileged to do some games at for SWX. So these teams were here, at least Valley City State was here. It must have been October of last year, and also tomorrow's opponent, Mayville State. We'll have that one on Rocky Mountain's YouTube channel tomorrow night at 6. Also on K-Sky this week, we have Senior West football. That's coming up from Bayless Stadium, Wendy's Field on Friday night. Rocky Erickson and I will be up in the booth for you for that one, for about the 35th year of doing football live broadcasts here in Billings. And then Saturday, could be a terrific high school game. I had a really good game last Saturday, except for the fact that West High lost their big hitter, Brooklyn Pierce, to a knee injury. We're not sure about the extent of that yet, but definitely a cut into their depth, especially on the starting rotation. But they have a talented, deep team. We're hoping they come out of it. And for senior, on Saturday at 2 o'clock, it's Gallatin, last year's state champions. That's a couple of teams that are at the top of the standings again this year, along with the Bozeman Hawks and CMR. It's a terrific year so far for the Eastern AA. But Saturday at 2 on K-Sky, we'll have Gallatin at Senior High over on the Palace by the Park. Let's take a look at our Frontier Conference standings as of coming into this one here tonight. Providence number 1. They're 5-0 in conference, 12-1 overall. Then it's Tech, 5-0 and 9-2 right on their heels. Bellevue, 4-1, 8-2. Western, 4-1, 6-6 overall. And Dakota State, 3-2. Dickinson State, 3-2. Northern, 3-2. Carroll, 2-3. Valley State, Bismarck State, Mayville State, and for now anyway, Battlin Bears looking up at the rest of the conference, hoping to get something turned around on that here tonight. And they actually have a couple of pretty good opportunities. Mayville State is the team they play tomorrow night at 6. They'll come in 0-5 in conference, so depending on what happens tonight with the Mayville State contest, they will perhaps be playing for picking up a win in the conference. They'll both come in undefeated, but of course Audrey Beaumont and her staff and players hoping to do better than that here and take home a win and get their win machine going here tonight. I'm Herm Elenbaas. Let's take, how about a 3-minute timeout? We'll come back to the starting lineups after the national anthem from the Fortin Center at Rocky Mountain College. And let's take a look at our visiting Valley State University Vikings. Number 1 is Macy Pridgeon, a senior outside hitter from Bismarck, 6'1". Ellie Lucas is a 6-foot sophomore outside hitter from Argosville, North Dakota. J.C. Richter is a defensive specialist, a senior 5'9" from Linton, North Dakota. Danielle Hagler is a 5'9" middle blocker, a senior from Pando, North Dakota. Annika Polio is from Sebeka, Minnesota, 5'7" middle. She's a freshman. And Maddie Bogenreif is from Moorhead, Minnesota, a 5'8" freshman. And she will be playing opposite of perhaps coming in setter. We'll also be meeting Hannah Wheeler, Lorraine Clark, Morgan Fidgey, Rosie Anderson, and Gracie Schumacher will be coming in to play tonight as well for the Valley City Vikings. For the home team, the Rocky Mountain College Battlin Bears. It'll be Sadie Meyer, 5'7" sophomore from Billings, Montana. Billings West High School, played at Northwest Community College in Powell. From Kalispell, Zoe Elbert, a 5'7" UES, a junior, went to Bigfork High School. Colleen Mulder from Newport, Netherlands, who wears number 7, from Buchanan, Michigan. That's in the Berrien County area, southern Michigan. We have Josie West, a 5'8" senior outside. Ella Kincaid, a 5'9" junior from Billings Senior. She also sets. She plays right side. Caitlin Wood, a 5'11" middle from Eugene, Oregon, a junior. We'll be seeing Gabriella Panzetta, a 6'3" senior from British Columbia. And Meredith Marsh, Arlington, Washington, a 5'7" junior. She will be setting, the head coach in her second season. Aubrey Beaumont, and for the Vikings, Michelle Mitchell-John in her third season. A couple of young bucks coaching this one up here tonight. Hoping to get the best out of their team, because neither one has started the season, the conference season anyway, with much success. That can all start turning around here tonight. Coach Hug right in front of us here. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, it's Rocky on the right. They're wearing the white, yellow, or whatever that color is. And the libero, which is Zoe Albert tonight, is wearing the green number 5. And then for the Vikings, it will be on the left in the maroon uniforms. And the libero is J.C. Richter, averaging 5.7 gigs per set. Leading hitter on the Vikings squad, Mary Pridgeon, a 6'1" senior, hitting .251. And for the Rocky Mountain Battlin Bears, Felina Mulder leads all the other hitters at 1.90. So we've got the Vikings and the Bears, Valley City State, and the Rocky Mountain Battlin Bears. Fresh off a tough road trip. Man, that will be a tough road trip for any team, but excessive losses to Bellevue and Dakota State. Not too much of a surprise there, as both of those teams win the top 25, and Bellevue has finished second last year in the national tournament to Indiana Wesleyan. Nice number combination. Speaking as the volleyball announcer, all the numbers nice and clear against the unis. I do a team here on the high school level occasionally, the Skyview Falcons, and they actually have like a black lettering on gray in one of their uniform sets. Fortunately, I know all the people, but I feel sorry for the visiting announcers sometimes. Zoe's going to start us up here. Zoe Albert. And she'll send it cross forward. Popped up in the air by Richter. Back set. It's down. One and done. Mary Frigden gets the first kill of the night. System kill. No block anywhere near. And down it goes. Back to serve Missy Richter for the Valley City State Vikings. We're in number 9. She'll load up the serve. Take it deep. Right on the back line. Josie West is under it. Meredith March sets up the front row. Cross court. And that's covered on the Sadie Meyer swing. Opposite side, stop block by Caitlin Wood. Caitlin shuts it down, and we're tied up. Ellie Lucas took the swing and came right back to her, courtesy of Caitlin Wood. And back to serve goes Ellison K. Little push at the net, back to Valley City. Backside, high tip off the block, long chase there for Zoe Albert who gets there. Free ball over the top for Caitlin Wood. Here's the attack to the middle. The tip, and it's going to find the floor. Morgan Bridgie puts it away. Bridgie hung in the air and made it happen, and here's Gabriella Panzetta on the front line now. From British Columbia, St. Thomas Aquinas High School. 2-1 Valley City. And back to serve, Delaney Clark. Josie West pops it up beautifully. Ellie Kincaid sets up the front line. That's going to be down. High hands on the backside. Sadie Meyer puts it away. Sadie got a good pop on that one and played on the backside, but played the wrong direction by Valley City. Tied up at 2 here in the first set. Sadie Meyer back to serve for the Battlin Bears. Welcome all of you watching on the Rocky Mountain College YouTube channel, and then all of our friends at K-Sky 94.1 and 941ksky.com. Here's Meyer. Cross court, perfect pass, opposite side. Lucas tries the dump shot, and it works. Ellie takes something off of it and drops it in the donut hole. 3-2, Valley City State. And into the game comes Dylan Pospisil. Dylan from Bridger High School will take over in a defensive position. Back to serve, Gracie Shoemaker. Kincaid, slide set, backside, long one. Can they get there? No. Found another one for Caitlin Wood. And that will bring in Selena Mulder. And that will move, let's see, Gabby to the outside, back to serve. It'll be Lindsay Lawrence for the first time in the game. 5'9" junior outside, and just ended cross court. Popped up on the backside by Clark. In the middle, there's that tip again. Nice save by Mulder, and then two people collided. The tip shot was covered, but then two people got mixed up, and it's 4-3, Valley City. And in to serve for the Vikings, Brooke Anderson, a 5'7" senior DA. Rosie Anderson on the front row now as a setter. And here's Brooke from the left corner. They'll walk into this one, drop a sinker ball in. Backside handled by Dylan Costa, and a block at the net again. Valley City too tough at the net. And tough to get the block, Morgan Friggie. Valley City up by 2. Back to serve Anderson. Middle back. Kincaid, Panzetta gets blocked. On the outside, Fridgen shuts it down. Boy, the hitting percentage for Rocky, not a thing to brag about. 0.92 on kill efficiency for Rocky. Compare that with 143 for Valley City's Viking. Free ball by Panzetta. Middle back. Clark has a good pass. Off the tip. Good cover on the backside by Pospisil. Josie West almost got the corner. One arm stab keeps it alive for Valley City. Bridgie shoots it down the line. Push over the top by Mulder. Saved. And we're still playing on this rally. Here's Kincaid outside West. Off the block. Down the net. And it's on the floor for the side out to Rocky. Josie West puts it away. Buchanan High School, all the way from Michigan. Meredith Marsh goes back to serve for the Battlin Bears at 6-4. First third of his first set. Pretty close. Service error, first one of the game for Rocky. And in the game comes Danielle Hagler for the Vikings. Take over on the front line. Back to serve, goes Annika Polyu. Middle back, Pospisil chases her setter March. Right to the net, hit the area. That's going to be Valley City point. Josie West is already committed to the transition. Her momentum carried her right into a stanchion, but we shook it off. 8-4. Polio back to serve again. Cross court this time. Pospisil handling the serves. Outside Mulder tips it over the top down the line. Covered by Whitfield, and there's that donut hole problem again. Tip over the top for Valley City's Vikings. Down it goes. The lead is 5 for the Vikings. Here's Polio again. Middle back, Pospisil slide, makes a beautiful play. Out to Josie West. That dangles on the net. Swept out of the net by West. Pushed over the top. Just enough to get it to fall. Everything working. Hagler scores that kill. And we're going to see a timeout to Audrey Beaumont as the first part of this first set going Valley City's way. And Audrey Beaumont hoping to make some adjustments here. We're back in 1. Polio back to serve for the Vikings. Pospisil. Perfect pass to Marsh. Here's West. High bounce off the box. Here's chased by Shoemaker. Backside push goes off the top of the block by Valley City. Left-handed swing by Ellie Kincaid. Backside. Bridging gets the back line. Good spotter there. The defense for Rocky let that one go by, and it cost him on that one. 11-4. Coach Beaumont will bring in Sadie Meyer now to play the defensive position for Pospisil. Back to serve Annika Polio again. Zoe Albert has the on-target pass. Here's West that got a little bit behind her, couldn't get everything into that. Back row push, right there, Zoe Albert. Marsh, that's to nobody. Helena Mulder got on the wrong page with Meredith Marsh. Helena in a perfect position, but miscommunicated with Marsh, and that's fell harmlessly to the floor right in front of us. 12-4, Valley City. Polio, the long service run. Backside, pops up. Zoe Albert, long run from Marsh. Blind set. Hip shot over the top of the left hand by Josie. In the middle, a crossing shot by Hagler, wide open for the Vikings. And Polio continuing to push the points here for the Vikings. Polio, middle, whistles it backside. This time a great pass. It's hip shot attempt by the setter, no good. Bridging, it's covered. Other side, Shoemaker stabbed into the air by Felina Mulder, and then Kincaid gets the high deflection, but right there, Polio. Richter, 3 balls it over. Another shot for the offense. Here's Mulder. Mulder dug out. Polio gets under that one. Shoemaker backside. Sadie Meyer pops it up. Long rally. Josie West gets the kill. Finally, Josie says, enough of this. Let's put it away. Second kill for Josie West and a much-needed side out. As Lauren Rudacker comes in, she was libero last time I did a game for Rocky. She has moved into the DS position as Zoe Albert is taken over in the libero position. Floater backside. Richter perfect up to the center. Shoemaker. Flips over the top. Covered by Mulder. Tight to the net, but they can't get it over the net. Zoe Albert playing around the net. Almost got the save, but couldn't get the right angle on that one. And a quick side out for Valley City State. Back into the game after one rotation for Lauren Rodacker will come Josie West. She will move to the backside to play some D. Boy, got to cover those corners. That's been a bugaboo for the games I've called so far. Here's Marsh. Good setup of Meyer. The push covered easily by Polio. High tip off the block. There's West. Marsh, middle. Polina, left-handed. Covered by Bogenreef. And that's going to be on the back line. What a location there. On the outside, Phrygian puts it away. Right through the Red Sea, through the back line for the kill. Here's Bogenreef. High one. Meyer almost shanks it, turns into an ace. The pass from Meyer messed that one up. And Bogenreef gets the ace. 16-5 now, Valley City. Bogenreef back to serve. Madden, Bogenreef. Can Kincaid get it down? Boy, did Kincaid unload on that one. That was a whole set of frustration at the point of attack for Ella Kincaid. Whammo, 16-6, side out finally for the Battlin Bears. And Zoe Albert goes back to serve for Rocky Mountain College. Left side, knocks the arm, is cross court, popped into the air by Lucas. Right to the net, slammed to the floor. Sadie puts it away. Sadie, the opportunistic outside hitter on the front row, elevates and puts it away. 16-7, 2 in a row for Rocky. Zoe Albert back to work at the service line. Zoe right side, looks long, played on the backside by Richter. Couldn't get out of the way of that one. On the front row, Lucas sends it long. And Valley City State giving some points back here. Rockies within 8. And Zoe Albert will try to take it one closer here. Zoe, jump serve. Shoemaker, beautiful take for Albert, keeps it alive. Here's the attack for Valley City. The slice to the side, run down by Josie West. Out to Meyer, and that's going to be picked off at the net. Emma Lucas ready and waiting for that little desperation shot there by Sadie Meyer. 17-8, Valley City. We see Richter back to serve. Richter, third, baby Shank, covered by Zoe. PK makes the calming play. Opposite side, blocked at the net by Lawrence. Long run, and Lawrence and Meyer are going to combine for that stuff block. Caitlin Wood, rather. And now Gabby Panzetta comes back into the game. Tallest player on the Rocky squad. Ella Kincaid goes back to serve, one of the players that came out of that volleyball factory known as Billings Senior here. That's tight to the net. Saved. Good cover, but Brady Meyer is not going to get there. Brady almost joined our broadcast there with the hustle play. And Valley City now up by 9. Delaney Clark goes back to serve for the Vikings. Meyer, another problem with the pass on the serve receive, but covered. Backside, tip. Lucas gets it through the block and down. Emma Lucas hangs and drops it in. 19-9. Coach Beaumont wants another timeout. Valley City in control in the first set. We'll be back in 60. And you're watching the Battlin Bears, brought to you by Earth Hotel, streaming live on the Rocky Athletics YouTube channel. Got a chance to watch a little bit of that after our matches last week. Boy, that is a real clear view that is something that was never around when I was much younger than I am. Good to go to your internet and watch all your local games. Let's see, who is that? Panzetta? Yeah, I was yakking. Forgot to write that down. On the backside, Sadie Meyer, covered on the backside by Clark. On the front row, Lucas, covered by Kincaid. Backside, Chelsea West. Duck block on the front row. Down it goes from Morgan Fidgey. 2 step blocks now for Fidgey in the first set. And a comfortable first set for the visitors from Valley City. Gracie Shoemaker back to serve. 5'6" junior setter. Valley City 5 points away, played on the back line. Dylan Hospital back in the game. And Rocky gets the error point there. Lindsay Lawrence will come in now for the Battlin Bears to serve. Rocky's just got to get that attack going, or they're terminating pills, at least in a reasonable amount. The block's working. There's Mulder from Nixdorf, the Netherlands, right on the coast, sort of near the Rotterdam and Amsterdam area. Drove past there on the freeway about a year ago, but good play there for Utah's pride. Helena Mulder. Pushed over, covered by Kincaid. Bump set by Lawrence. Into the block, blocked out of bounds. Rocky's playing better. Panzetta puts that one away. Got the throw off the block from Gabriella Panzetta. 20-13. Back to serve, Lindsay Lawrence. Good Lawrence. Middle back, Delaney Clark. Outside the Lucas. Nice save at the backside by Pospisil. Run down by Kincaid. Here's West. Cross forward right at Richter. Shoemaker, nice one-arm stab and knocked over on the last gas by Panzetta. Shoemaker again, pushed to the floor on the net play there by Valley City. And give that one to Morgan Fidgey. 3 scuff blocks in the first set. And back to serve for Valley City with Brooke Anderson. 21-13 now, Valley City. Herm Elenbaas at Rocky Mountain College. Anderson. And that's out. A hitting error for Panzetta. Takes Valley City to 22. Brooke Anderson, a 5'7" senior, back to serve for the Vikings. We'll whistle that one. Middle back. Overpass. Saved out of the net. Problems at the net. And net violation. That overpass took Rocky right into the net. And now Valley City ready to close down on Rocky here in the first set. Brooke Anderson back to serve again to the Vikings. Looping shot, middle back. Pospisil under it. West, high bounce off the block, serve it down on the backside for Clark. Bridgen gets covered. That was a big swing. Panzetta tries the donut hole. 2 players ran into each other. And the collision gives Panzetta a pretty easy kill. Panzetta now with 3 kills. And Meredith Marsh will come back in for the Battlin Bears. 23-14. Rocky fighting for their life here in the first set. And we have a meeting, perhaps a substitution, how-to kind of thing. I don't know. But we will find out. Kincaid kind of tracking things down. Now March. Little substitution issue there. Required a conversation with the up ref, Marty Edgman. Meredith Marsh, tight to the net. Perfect for Shoemaker. Bridgen gets knocked off the block. Backside, Kincaid catches the block. Slow one for Richter. Other way, Lucas stabbed in the air by Mulder. Rebound by West, and that's way out the backside. Almost looped it into the 18th green, the drop near the hole. That's kind of what it looked like. A little spin on that, get that back spin back to the hole. And we have set point coming up here. An opportunity for the Vikings. And Annika Pulju, who had a great service run earlier, is going to try to finish this. Going over to quick to Mulder, knocked back by the block, covered by Pospisil, who's contained. He is covered on the backside by Lucas. Out to Fridgen, that catches block. Marsh gets under it. Outside, there's Kincaid. She catches block for the easy pop-up cover. Lucas again. Anderson, rather. West tried to hit that out. Richter picked it off. Chip behind the block. What a save, but nobody there to cover it. 25-14. The first set goes to Valley City. And Coach Beaumont and the Bears will try to figure out how to turn this around here at Rocky. And we'll be back in 2.5. First set ends up Valley City State University, 25-14. And here's a look at your stats. 12 of 42 attempts for Valley City State. Only 4 misses, 190, led by Danielle Hagler. 10 digs for Casey Richter. For Rocky, they hit 0, 9 for 9, or 9 out of 45 with 9 errors. And the leading hitter was Caitlin Wood. She hit 750. Trying to do her best to bring that up. And Sadie Meyer, a couple of kills and 6 swings, 167. Well, let's see number 2 here. See if Rocky can turn this around here. Not dig a hole that's 2 sets to none. And back to serve, Madden Bogenreich. Takes it back to Meyer. Caitlin Wood gets rejected at the net. Backside to a Kincaid, and there's the lead for Rocky. Well, Kincaid uses the tool job to get it off the block to the floor. Little leakage on the outside block there. Gabby Panzetta will come in for the Battlin Bears. Well, Kincaid back to serve. Lefty. A little bit of a shank, but right there playing shank protection is Fridgen. There's a block. Second attempt, hit the ground. So the quick ball back to the middle, and Hagler pushes it to the floor. A couple of swings and misses there by Rocky Mountain College on the way by. Casey Richter back to serve for the Vikings. He'll load up, floated deep, popped in the air by Rodacker. Outside, Meyer cross forward right there. Richter overpass. Meyer's going to play the offensive approach there. Lawrence is going to be a kill. That's Wood, my dad to the Wood family. A perfect choice of sets there for Rocky, and Wood was lurking in the middle, ready to bomb that to where they ain't. 2-1 Rocky. Josie West in the game for the Battlin Bears. Kind of fun watching Josie West and her strong arms pop up at the backside. Pullian on the front row, pushed over, and Hagler misses past the diving Sadie Meyer. Meyer gave it her all, came up short. That's one time that athleticism falling a little short didn't hurt. 3-1 Rocky. And Sadie Meyer back to serve. Pops up by Pullian and blocked by Rocky. And Rocky's on a roll in the second set. Caitlin Wood just dominating there in the middle. Caitlin Wood is a 5'11 junior. Sadie Meyer working some points here off the serve. Drops in a second ball. Richter gets under it. Outside. That's not going to get over the net. The attempt by Ellie Lucas went parallel to the net. Didn't have the angle right. And something to cheer about for Rocky. They lead 5-1. Meyer waits for the call from Coach Beaumont. Now has the location. Drops it on Pullian. Outside. Cross court. Kincaid with a dig. Here's Panzetta. Tip shot over the top. Whipped in the air by Emma Lucas. That's off the block and down. Good push there by Ellie Lucas. Side out. Valley City State. Let's see if Rocky can hold this to a minimal push of points here and get back to their fired-up offense. Delaney Clark covered the backside by Postus. Oh, there's West. Overpass. Caitlin Wood gets another kill. Caitlin Wood doing it all here. He is putting a hurt on that ball. Back to serve goes Lindsay Lawrence for the Bears. 6-2 Rocky second set. Looping shot, backside, overpass, down to the floor. Mulder eats it up at the net. Paulina Mulder doing the overpass cleanup duty at the net. 7-2 Rocky. Lindsay Lawrence, cross court, Delaney Clark, outside. That's behind the hitter Lucas. She had to take something off of it, not to West, and West missed it by 6 inches. Football players across the way didn't like that call. They kind of reacted immediately on that close one, but you know what? The line judge has got a pretty good look at it there. And Gracie Shoemaker back to serve, the junior setter. Left hand, middle back. Hospital. Mulder can't get anything on it. Diving save for Richter. Opposite side. Almost hit the aerial. Covered by Rocky. That's over the block. Right there covering is West. Jump shot attempt. No good from Kincaid. Off the top of the block, Kincaid with a nice dig. Bumps up to the backside. Way in the West. Wheelhouse. Anyway, Wheelhouse and West jammed it home. Just a hint of daylight in that opposite corner, and there it goes. 8-3. Rocky playing much better with a little fire in their bellies in the second set. Here's Meredith Marsh. Cross fourth. Delaney Clark. Push down. That's going to be down from the hand of Morgan Fridge. Give her a kill. And Valley City puts a couple in a row there. We're hoping to here. Brooke Anderson back to serve for the Vikings. So Anderson's ready now. This left of center, West. That's an off-target set by Marsh. Back set, pushed over, swept into the air by Constance. Set to the outside. Lucas, that's behind the area, or at least close to it. There's West. Beautiful big for Delaney Clark. Good view out the back door. They got a tip, so a little bit of a touch by the Rocky defense, and the lead is down to 3. It was a 5-point lead just a moment ago. Now Brooke Anderson back to serve. 8-5 Rocky second set. Anderson, floater, covered by Albert, backside, West, push, right at Gracie Shoemaker. Front row, another miss on the hit. He tried for the tip again, but Rosie Anderson was not rewarded that time. You got to try, though, huh? And Rocky gets a side out. And back to serve, it'll be Lauren Rodacker. Skyview High, 5'4" senior DS. Rotates between DS and Libero. Rodacker misses. Second service error of the night for Rocky, 9-6. A quick side out for Valley City. Hanukkah Poliu back to serve. Vikings look like they're getting a little more energy out there. Good pass on the backside by Rodacker. Here's Sinclair, Cooler off the block of Danielle Hagler. Kincaid, so valuable in so many ways for this Rocky team. She's a defensive player. She can do it at the net. She can also set, by the way. Doing her part to make Rocky a better team. Here's Zoe Albert, cross court, Sidney. Nice pass to Shoemaker. In the middle, Hagler. Zoe Albert's under that one. Opposite to Meyer, and Meyer scores the kill. Got the tool off the outside block of Valley City. Rosie Anderson couldn't square up on that one. Rocky up by 5, second set. Here's Zoe Albert again from Bridgeport. Shank, ace for Zoe Albert. And Rocky enjoying themselves a little more of this set. Zoe dials up an ace. That forces the timeout from Michelle Micklejohn. 12-6 Rocky back in 60. Strong start, second set, Rocky Mountain. Back to serve, Zoe Albert. Richter, perfect up to Shoemaker. Outside Fridgie off the block. Right there is Rodacker chasing it down. Out to Meyer on the attack. Covered on the backside by Polio. Dump shot attempt. Right there is Zoe Albert. Quick set. Wood gets covered this time. Shoemaker, chip behind the block. It's wide open for Hagler. Hagler hangs in the air. Goes the middle swing and then tips it behind the block. 12-7, side out of the timeout. And Madden Montgomery back to serve. But maybe a stayed in here tomorrow night on the YouTube channel. Marsh, Woods covered. Into the block, but it leaks out of the block down the net for the Valley City point. Bridgie Bridgen, rather. Got two of them that are pretty close, so I'll try to keep them straight. I mean, there are different numbers, right? Right. Madden Bogenreef back to serve. Lead is 4. Lodotzer, a little bit of a shank, run down by Marsh. Kincaid at the net. Pushed over. Bogenreef is there. On the front row, high bounce off the block. Another parallel to the net carom from Emma Lucas. And it's now a 3-point game. Madden Bogenreef back to serve. Middleback, Lodotzer, Meyer, they needed that one, and Meyer got it done on the front row. He reached back into the power zone and jammed it through the block and down. A huge knee brace on the left knee of Daniel Hagley. He's doing great for playing with that kind of obstruction. 13-9, back to serve, Ella Kincaid, that's the ace. Sliding away from the 4, Pino could not get to it. Kincaid can also serve. I mentioned her qualities a while ago. I didn't think I said serving, but that was right on cue. And Kincaid loads it up again. Plops off the net. Richter waits it out. Bam, right back to Richter. What a dig for Kincaid. Diving save, swept out of the net, pushed over just inside of the area by Meyer. Bridgen, that's out the back door. What a play for the Rocky defense. Rockies defense celebrates that one on a hitting error. 15-9. Ella Kincaid back to serve. Left hands across court, just miss. And she says, my bad. It's kind of a team leader she is. Ellie Lucas in the game now for the Vikings. Casey Richter back to serve. Super setter, libero, averaging over 5 big a set. We had 10 in the first set, I believe. Fought off by Lodotzer. Wide set. Wood out the back door. Sailed on her. Ended up about 6 feet out the back door. Now it's a 4-point game again. Richter to try to make it 3 here with her team. 5-step approach, short one. Lodotzer perfect up to Kincaid. Out to Meyer. She planted that one off Richter. A ricochet keeps it alive. Then Lodotzer with a moving away save. Another chance for Meyer. She puts it down. Maybe. Got a little touch, and that took it right into the middle of winning 8. 16-11. Rocky. Ella Kincaid back to serve. Brady Meyer, my bad. Looping shot, backside. Julio, Lucas at the net. He's rejected. On the block at the net by Panzetto. The pieces, parts working now for Rocky so far in the second set. 17-11 as Sadie Meyer gets set. It was easy peasy and ace for Meyer. Sadie drops it in. Tinker ball just got over the net. 18-11. Timeout Valley City. We're back in 60. Rocky up by 7 out of the Valley City timeout. Here's Meyer. Backside, pops up in the air. Pulia, going from the outside from Valley City. West on the front line, couldn't get anything on it. Quick to the middle, popped in the air by Zoe Elbert. Back to West, this time the big swing. Saved with a cover by Zoe Elbert. West again. Good save on the backside for Pulia. Cross court, there's Zoe Elbert again. Setting up West. She got the perfect set that time, and down it goes. That set was money from Kincaid. Wow, West got that right in the best spot and put it away. 19-11. Sadie Meyer back to serve for the Battlin Bears. A jump serve. Richter overpass. Saved out of the net. Knocked off by Kincaid. Kept alive. There's West again. Covered by Pulia. Cross court. There it goes. Hagler comes back to get a kill down. She's got 8 kills in the match. And Fridgie comes into the game for the Vikings as Hagler takes a seat with some high fives everywhere. 19-12. Rocky on top. They're down 1-0. Delaney Clark in the game on defense. Slide set. Wood off the block. That's down. Caitlin Wood. 6 kills, 2 stuff blocks for the junior Caitlin Wood. Caitlin from Eugene, Oregon. Probably have some Eugene people tuning in here today. Rocky 20, VSCU 12. Delaney Clark has the pass. Popped it up a little. Emma Lucas, covered by Rocky. Backside, Penzetta, heel shot over the top. Right there is Golden Reef. That shot down. What a hang and tip there. That was nice. Emma Lucas with a little magic there at the net as she hung and then tipped over the side out. Number 13 gets the 13th point on the board for the Vikings. Gracie Shoemaker back to serve. Whistles the backside. Albert, perfect to Kincaid. The quick to Mulders. Nice save there for Albert again. In the middle, down it goes. Morgan Fridgie. He got it on the quick set in perfect shape to put it away. And Gracie Shoemaker back to serve. Hospital. That's out of reach for Penzetta. She just keeps it alive. Shoemaker. How about Hospital there? Running away from the play up to West. Then she gets the finish. Nope. Going to be a net violation. 21-14. Someone raised the net from the Viking squad. Meredith Marsh back to serve. From Arlington, Washington. Watkin Community College. Right near Linden, Washington, where all my family's from. In the middle, Fridgie, dug out by Marsh. Here's Kincaid, unloads, into the corner and missed it. Just a little bit too tight of an angle. She took it just inside the back corner, nearly the longest target she had, but got a little bit too much under it. So 21-15. Rocky's got to get 4 to finish off the Vikings in the second set. Here's West, into the block, covered by West. Got to go there again. He does, flops it into the corner, run down by Clark. Shoemaker, outside, high bounce off the block. Marsh, backside. Kincaid tried to squeeze it through the defense. Not happening. Bridgen, push. Postwhistle, outside to West. That's down in the back corner. And West delivers that seeing eye hit to the back corner. 22-15. Ellie Lucas will come in for the Vikings. 6-foot sophomore. Just long enough to get J.C. Richter in there. West will take a seat. Gets the low fives this time as she heads over there. Hospice is over there. Lauren Raybacker readies herself to serve. Middle back. Delaney Clark. There's Bridgen. Rocky worked on it, but too much power by Mary Bridgen. Side out Viking. Hagler comes back in. Boy, keep a block on her. She's an active part of that offense for the Vikings. Annika Poliu. Perfect pass from Albert. There's Mulder. Knocked back by the block. Kincaid. Knocked back by the block. Covered by March. Free ball by Albert. Will be right on the line. Played. And there's Hagler. Beautiful dig for Marsh off the Hagler finest. Brady Meyer is going to be all the way back to Rocky. Zoe Albert. Bump shot. Covered. Richter is playing tight to the net. Bridging. Block shot. Push at the net. Mulder gets it over to Valley City. Back to Fridgen. And that's down. What a long, entertaining rally. 5-point game. Audrey Beaumont says, let's talk it over. The lead is 5. Rocky's got 3 to go. Don't go anywhere. We're back in a minute. OU third it back to Meyer. March to the middle. Kincaid. Save out of the net. What a play over there by Rosie Anderson. March in the middle. Mulder covered. Bridgen off the top of the block. March settles under that one. Bump set by Albert into Kincaid. Short step. Almost had collision there. Out to Bridgen again. Knocked back by the block. Push at the net. Spinning around Shoemaker. Kept alive, pushed over. Now it's the Vikings' turn. On the outside, hit out the back door. Rockies 2 points away. Hitting there is a Rosie Anderson. 23-17, second set. First set went to Valley City. No contest, 25-14. Zoe Albert back to serve. Steps into that one. Fridgen gives up the ace. Rockies at set point. And count the ace for Zoe Albert. Two aces now for Zoe. Set point opportunity for Rocky. Sinks it in. That's going to be ace. Two aces in a row. Finishes it. And Rocky ties it up at 25-17 in the second set. Well, that was fun if you're a Rocky Mountain College fan. Want to remind you, you're watching the Battlin Bears, brought to you by Earth Hotel, streaming live on the Rocky Athletics YouTube channel back in 2.5. all even, one set apiece. Rocky serves first to start the third set, and we will come back and check on some of these stats, including the highest hitting percentage I've been able to call for a set, and that one goes down first point of the night for Hagler. Of the set. Let's check Hagler's stats here. 5 kills and 7 swings, hitting .714 so far for Danielle. And J.C. Richter back to serve. Meredith Marsh. Wood gets covered on the back corner by Collier. That's off the top of the block. Wood stabbed it into the air. Free ball coming up from Sadie Myers. Backside, Collier. Outside Lucas, and that's a miss. Ellie goes outside the lines, and that's going to be another point on the board here for BCSU. I don't think that's right. Could be 1-1. Kincaid pops it off the net. Richter sees it coming. Backside, Lucas. Scrambling play for the Battlin Bears. In the middle, covered on the push. Ogenreed goes to Hagler. How about that big foot? Ella Kincaid, who's going to play it. 2 players converge. Nobody called it. Meyer and Kincaid looking a little frustrated there. Now it's 2-1. They got the score figured out here. Valley City State. Delaney Clark back to serve. We'll set up in the middle, float it. Back to Sadie Meyer. Back set, slider. That's going to drop into the donut hole off the touch of Morgan Friggy. And Caitlin Wood, who's leading her team in fills right now. Caitlin Wood, 3 kills, hitting out of 4 attempts, .750. Here's Meyer. Drops that one in on the back row. Step block at the net. Push back, though, and covered. There's Panzetta. Gets a slip off the block. Richter makes the adjustment. Blocked at the net. That's on the floor. Panzetta gets the high five from her teammate. 3-2 Rocky. Rocky has found another gear since the start of the second set. And Valley City has the challenge of getting them back into that first set mode. They won by 11. 3-2 Rocky. Third set, tied up at a set apiece. Sadie Myers readies herself. Got a lot of football folks watching from the corridors and so on. They are done with their practice. Myers, middle back, Clark, quick set. Wow, that was strongest swing of the night. So Friggy, termination special there from Morgan Friggy. To tie it up at 3. Grace Shoemaker back to serve. He will swap into the setter position. Floater. Zoe. Oh, man. Sweet swing. Caitlin Wood is not being cheated on those swings. Well, I have Wood for 11 kills, so I don't know. If you won't worry about it, more things to worry about. Rocky had their highest first set hitting in that last set. I don't know where I was going. I was looking at the wrong score sheet. Anyway, new player in the front row, step block, Helena Mulder. Eden Carrier loses that one to Mulder. And it's 5-3. Lindsay Lawrence covered on the serve. In the middle, Friggy. Free ball by Lawrence will set up the attack. Ogenreed. Their teammates can't get it over. Friggy can't get it over the net. 6-3. Promise you I'd get to the second set stats, but the third set's just too interesting to slow down. Here's Lindsay Lawrence. Richter, jump shot. Good move for J.C. Richter. .55 big so far for Valley City, 47 for Rocky. 14 so far for Rocky Zoe Albert, and 16 for J.C. Richter. Here's Kincaid. Mulder gets the twister, but it's covered. Long run from the backside. Push over. There's Zoe Albert. Mulder sets up West, and it's blocked out of bounds. Give the kill for Josie West. Rocky hit 208 is what I'm trying to say. 14 kills and 53 swings in the second set. That's their highest hitting percentage in the third match now that I've got. And the ace drops for Dylan Hospital. 8-4. That was Marsh, rather. Meredith Marsh. What power on that one. Delaney Parks on it. Bridges. Bridgen. Still mixing those up. Outside. Bridgen. Stop block. No, kept alive. There's Bridgen. Push at the net. Back to Rocky. And Valley City wins that one with a push down by Bridges. Huge rules at the net. The last one won by Valley City to get the side out, take them to 5. Monica Polyu. Polyu snaps the wrist, would have been long, played by Hospital. There's Marsh, gets a little tip and it goes. Meredith Marsh gets a kill. Got a little touch at the net from Mary Fridgen. And a quick side out for Rocky to lead 9-5. Lots of smiles on the Rocky faces here. Katie Meyer back in the front row for the Battlin Bears as Lauren Rodacker goes back to serve. And serves it into the net. I don't know if you can see it on your YouTube cameras, but look at all the football players watching this from the back wall. We are interested in what's going on out here. Side out and back to serve. Madden Bogenreef. Perfect pass up to Marsh. They're going to go back to Kincaid. Tries the tip. Richter is there. Off the block and down for Hagler. Hagler pushes that off the defensive hands of Rocky. It's a 2-point game as Madden Bogenreef back to serve. They set up deep on the Rocky Mountain logo. 4-step approach, floats it, perfect pass to Marsh, backside, boy, the Kincaid get a perfect set from Meredith Marsh. He had it right on top of the net, and Kincaid knew what to do with that one. Right inside the block, 10-7, Rocky Mountain College. Zoe Albert back to serve. 4-step approach, just over the net. Up ahead to Bogenreef. With a fluff there, but covered on the backside by Rodacker. Here's Meyer. He drops it between two defenders, Richter, and also on the backside, Puglia. And the kill goes for Rocky. Sadie Meyer having a really nice match here. On the backside, Puglia. Left block, saved. Newmaker comes out of nowhere. One-arm stab for Marsh. The set out to Kincaid. That's going to be down the net for the Valley City straight point. No, it isn't. Yeah, it is. I'm sorry. 12-7 is the score, whatever. They got a timeout. 12-7 Rocky, all tied up in sets at 1, back in 60. Shoemaker sets it up. Run down the backside on the swing by Lauren Rodacker. Push back to Puglia. Frigin gets the back corner perfectly. What a good target there for Mary Frigin. 6'1" senior. Coach Nickeljohn talking about a lot of veterans on this team, and you can't really count them out too early in any match. Here's Richard, middle back. Lauren Rodacker chases March. Long run for Elber just over the net. Set to the outside. Cross court for the miss from Eden Terrier. 13-8. And Gabriella Panzetta gets set to come in. Ella Kincaid back to serve for the Bears. 5-point lead for the Battlin Bears. Kincaid, near back, punched up in the air by Puglia, and that's out. Good no play by Rodacker. There, Nickeljohn is going to send in a new player. I'm going to have to track down who that is. You write down as many of these players that you think are going to play. That's Molly Bjornby. Logan Reed. Lauren Rodacker stands tall on that dig, and Myers gets popped up off the block. Back set. Lucas. Diving save again for Lauren Rodacker. She's making the play. There's Meyer way out the back door. So Molly Bjornby is from Grafton, North Dakota. 5'9" freshman outside. She wears number 8. Back to serve, Delaney Clark. 5-point lead now for the Bears. Meyer, Kincaid, slide set, cross court. Shoemaker with the dig. Kincaid says that was a weird pass. Meyer shifts it over, easy cover to the backside. That's going to be a Rocky point. A double is called on the pass before it went into the set. 15-9 now. That's Rocky point. And Josie West goes back to comes into the front row as Sadie Meyer goes back to serve. Richter, Golden Reed through the block and down. Morgan Friggi back on the attack. Gets the side out for Valley City. 15-10. And back to serve, it'll be Gracie Shoemaker. Go left-handed. Joey Elbert, the kick to Panzetta. Nice cover for Elbert. Push to the back corner. Delaney Clark slides over. Golden Reed. That one is covered. Tight to the net. And a net violation on the Vikings. That was an extremely tough set right on top of the net. The Vikings tried to get up there and block it, and they took him into the net. So Rocky up 16-10 as Lindsay Lawrence goes back to serve for the Battlin Bears. But Mayville State in here tomorrow night, 6 o'clock on the Rocky YouTube channel. I'll be there for the call on that one. Middle back, Richter, Golden Reed, to the floor, Friggi. And Friggi is heating up here in the middle. They're getting her some good sets, and she's finishing strong. And back to serve Brooke Anderson for the Vikings. 16-11, Rocky on top in the third set. Anderson. That's a Mulder, and she gets the kill. The peel off the block goes way over the heads, and Felina got her best swing of the night there. Meredith Marsh comes in. Rocky going step by step toward a possible 2 sets to 1 lead in this one here at Rocky. Meredith Marsh goes back to serve. Floaters. No reach by Clark, and it goes all the way back to Rocky, and nobody paying attention. That dropped right at the feet of Josie West and Paulina Mulder. It was an overpass, but Rocky did not follow all the way to the net. Vikings let it go. It fell right at the feet of Rocky. 17-12 now. Hoye. Josie West comes right back, hangs on the net, saved out of the net for March. Kincaid, nothing on it, just keeping it alive for Shoemaker. Outside to Fridgie and out the back door. Fridgie. 18-12. Trying to get it over the block and just a little too far over that block as Lauren Rodacker comes in. And Sadie Meyer. Hospice takes a seat. And now Lauren Rodacker back to serve. Her team 7 points away from the 2-1 lead. That's deep, right on the back line. Played by Toya. And the push to the floor. Bridgen. Mary, unstoppable lately here in this match. What does Coach Beaumont do about that? She's got the hot hand now, and the setters are finding her. Madden Bogenry back to serve. Zoe, Mark, Kincaid, Richter makes the dig. Shoemaker, backside, Lucas into the open corner. Emma, right into the near corner. The defense didn't get over there. The lead diminished to 4 for the Battling Bears as Bogenry goes back to serve. High ball, backside, Meyer. Does she get it back? Yep, she explodes into it, and down it goes. Had to take a little bit off of it because the set was a little bit high, but she took it off just what she had to and gets it to drop in the back corner. 19-14. Rocky rights their ship a little bit after Bridgie and Fridgen were coming alive on this thing. Shoemaker to the middle, Hagler. Nice play for the Battlin Bears. Oh, they call it a lift. So a little bit of a lift there called on Rocky. That gives the kill to the Vikings. 19-15. Timeout Rocky. Rocky's ahead. Back in 60. Madden Bogenreef trying to close the gap here with the Battlin Bears for her Vikings. That's actually Richter back there. J.C. Richter, the libero, leading defensive player in this one. Wow, look at Rocky making the plays there. Shoemaker, backside, Lucas hit the defense again. Between Phrygian and Lucas, Valley City keeping the pressure on the Battling Bears. J.C. Richter back to serve. 19-16 third set. All even end sets. Richter loads up the jumper. Takes it deep. Rodacker on target pass. Meyer. Stop block on the front row. Hagler shuts it down for the Vikings. 2-point game. Rocky needs a play. And Valley City needs a couple of them here to get tied. Here's Richter again. Can Richter get it done here and draw within one? Cross court, 2 players make the play. In the middle, that's what they needed. Caitlin Wood, too much, pulls it off the blocks for the kill and the big side out that takes Rocky to 20. So Ellison Cade back to serve. She'll take over at the setter position. Richter, Shoemaker, Lucas, high bounce off the block, goes back to the Vikings. Shoemaker, outside, high bounce off the block, covered on the backside by Rodacker. Up to Meyer, the tip, covered easily by Shoemaker. Richter sets up Lucas, that's just over the net, covered by Meyer. Here's Panzetta, back corner. Anderson's there. Hagler, the slide set ends up going to Hagler, and she's got this down to 2. Battlin Bears 20, Vikings 18. Delaney Clark back to serve for the Vikings. Perfect up to Kincaid. They're going to slide it to Wood, covered by Richter on the tip. Lucas tipped it right there. Elbert, defense from Rocky, playing well. Meyer, nothing on it. Covered on the backside. Delaney Clark up ahead. Hitting error for Viking. Molly Bjornby gets it on the wrong side of the net. It's 80 Meyer back to serve for the Battlin Bears. Meyer launches, middle back, Clark, Shoemaker. Bridgie, long chase, Richter makes the play. Popped up on the backside by Elbert. Pump set up to Josie West. Cross court. Richter's got that one spotted. Opposite. Bjornby. Oh, that's going to be down for Bjornby. First died out. Back to a 2-point game. Plenty of time yet here for Valley City. The way these two teams have matched up here today, we got a timeout. 21-19 Rocky back in 60. (21-19). This is the set that breaks us out of the tie here. Tied up at 1. And back to serve Grace Shoemaker. Kincaid to West. That's going to be blocked at the net. Bridgie, that's her 6th block of this game. 1-point game. Gracie Shoemaker will try to take it into a tie. Tough one on the side, heading for the crowd. Pospisil makes the play out of row 2. Shoemaker, Bridgie. Covered, swept out of the net for Elbert. And that's a tip, but covered to the backside by Delaney Clark. Back to Bjornby. Kincaid on the dig. West, go transition, just has to shoot it across to Clark. Backside, Anderson is covered. There's Josie West. Nice play for Delaney Clark, going away from the off the block. How about that for Joey Elbert? And Tanzella, dug out by Richter. Push to the backside, that's down. Finally, Bridgie ties it up with a push, and we're tied up at 21-21. Level of play super here at the Fortin Center. Gracie Shoemaker back to serve. Floats it backside overpass. Here comes the attack for Valley City. Bridgie backside. Pospisil saved out of the net. West backside. Little chip there. Keeps it alive to Bjornby. And she pops it over. Kincaid slides up the Wood. That's down for the lead. Wood handles that slide set to perfection. And Rocky has the 22-21 lead. He was on the same page there with Ella Kincaid, right on the money as Lindsay Lawrence goes back to serve for the Battlin Bears, 22-21. Middle back, popped up by Delaney Clark. Bjornby pushes. fended off by Lawrence and then pushed out. We're tied up again at 22. (22-22), Valley City side out. Brooke Anderson back to serve. Heavy serve back to Postissa. Here's West. And it comes back off her shoulder. West got stopped. It was heading out of bounds, but West couldn't get out of the way. And the Vikings take the 1-point lead. That was a freak play. Brooke Anderson back to serve. Postissa, Kincaid. Mulder knocks it up off the block, covered by Clark. Up ahead to Fridgen, knocked back by the block of Rocky. Fridgen gets the reload. Beautiful, big for Albert, big play. Can Josie West get it down? High bounce, long run down by Shoemaker. Free ball, Brooke Anderson. Back to West. The block is there. Kincaid steals around people. That's way to the backside. That's down. The Valley City State is at set point. Bridgen. Does Rocky have a comeback in him here? 24-22, set point for the Vikings. Brooke Anderson. Zoe Albert. Kincaid needs a kill. Bounce back off the block from West. Back to West. And that's going to be game. 25-22. Vikings come back after trailing most of this one and pick up the win in the third set. We're going to go to set number 4, and Rocky needs that one back in 2.5. Four kills now for Danielle Hagler from Valley City. She's got 12 kills, 26 swings, just one miss. That adds up to a 423 mark. For the match, Valley City hitting 128, Rocky 092. Defensively, 28 digs for J.C. Richter, 24 for Zoe Albert. Ella Kincaid has 12 digs, 8 for Dylan Toscasel. And for Rocky, Caitlin Wood, 11 kills, hitting .429. Valley City to serve first in this one. Set number 4, Bogenry. Meyer is Kincaid. That Valley City defense is standing tall to the attack here for Rocky for the most part. Flights at Wood, hitting .429. That's not going to add to that. Outside the Phrygian, that's down. Barry Phrygian does it again for the 1-0 lead. He is getting some nice sets there. Between Hagler, Phrygie, and Phrygian, and there's more that you can talk about, but those are the main ones here for Valley City. Deep ball from Bogenry. Cross court. Meyer had to wait for that one to get there, couldn't do anything with it. Lucas, a dig for Zoe Albert. Here's Wood. Cross court. Richter's there with yet another dig. Phrygian, miss out the back door. We're tied up at 1. Did not get cheated on that swing, did Mary. Now Ella Kincaid goes back to serve. Works her way to the middle and sends it back to Bogenry. Up to Phrygian. High bounce off the block. Right there is Wilbacher giving up her body to make that play. Vendetta sneaks in and makes that 3 ball. Bogenry knocks back by the block. Wood and Meyer take care of that one for a 2-1 lead. 5 sets for Lucas went nowhere against the Rocky Mountain wall. Kincaid back to serve. Cross court, overpass. Meyer's going to set it up. Back to Meyer, drops it in. Richter gets there. And I think there was a net violation there, because it looks like that was an up. But give the kill on the outside to Rocky. Cody Meyer. That was Kincaid again. Rocky up 3-1. They had a big lead most of the last set. Vikings held on and fought back, and that's right through the breadbasket for Hagler. Hagler sent that same routine to Kincaid, but Kincaid took her eye off and got a microsecond, and that was enough. Right out Valley City State. J.C. Ryder back to serve. Richter, rather. Whistles it down the line. There's Wilbacher. Here's Meyer. Pulls it off the block of Hagler. Sadie delivers. 4-2, Rocky. Can't do around on this one because if Valley City pulls it out, the losing streak continues. Bogenry, high bounce off the block. Back there waiting is Sadie Meyer. Up ahead to Panzetta. Puts it off the block. Shoemaker gets there. Emma Lucas. Cross court. Meyer's there in the middle. Wood's going to get that kill. 5-2 Rocky. Caitlin Wood hitting over 400. Gets that kill down beautifully. 5-2. We got a timeout. Valley City Vikings. And we're back in a minute. Brady Meyer back to serve for Rocky with a 3-point lead. Wearing number 3, Richter changes the location of the hands perfectly. That tip off Zoe Elber gets covered by Sadie Meyer. Playing some good defense. There's Bogenreef. And that's off the block and down for Bjornby. Bjornby got a good swing on that one. And Coach Mitchell-John gets the side out of the timeout. Delaney Clark goes back to serve. Cross court. Costas is there. Wood gets rejected, and it gets back over, but they call a lift. Good effort for Zoe Albert. That should go on a highlight reel anyway, but it didn't count because there was a lift involved. So 5-4 now. 2 straight points out of the timeout for Valley City as Delaney Clark sends it in play back to Costas. So the quick to Panzetta, dangles on the net, goes back to Rocky, and then confusion. Caitlin Wood and Alex and Cade had communication issues there, and we have a tie. 5-5 on the board. Clark back to serve. Albert, Kincaid, West, stop. I love her little look on her face with her teammates, like, yep, that's me. And why not? When you go up and do something as cool as that for your team. Delaney Clark, Kincaid, Wood had to change her idea there. That one stuck in the air a little bit, thanks to a tip at the net by Panzetta. Bogenreef, Bjornby for the kill. Boy, the fresh person off the bench is pounding that ball. And we're talking about Bjornby here. He has really got a live arm, and it's just what the Vikings need in the 4th set. Delaney Clark, Albert, is West. And West gets the kill as the net violation comes in. So West gets an easy kill there as the Vikings drifted into that net Spider-Man style. Lindsay Lawrence goes back to serve for the Battlin Bears. Seven, 6 Vikings. Deep ball. Bogenreef. Bridgie pounds it home. System kill with a quick set to the middle. Block got there late for Rocky. Couldn't even slow it down on the touch that time. Delaney Clark hands the ball back to Gracie Shoemaker. She'll take over at set for the Vikings. Deep. West is there. Mulder to the corner, but those corners are being covered beautifully by the Vikings. Here's Panzetta. Push. Clark gets there with a dig. Up to Bjornby again. The short stuff. One-arm stab by West. Keeps it alive. Free ball by the libero. Shoemaker. That doesn't get over the net from Bridgie. A rare mistake for Fridgie as she got rejected by the top of the net. Back to a 1-point set, 8-7. And Meredith Marsh comes in for the Battlin Bears. Got Mayville State in here tomorrow night on the Rocky YouTube channel. Senior West football Friday night on 94.1 FM. And then Saturday, Senior Gallatin volleyball. Shoemaker, Fridgie, that's down. Fridgie drops that in front of Hospital. Back to a 2-point lead. Rick Anderson will go back to serve. Crowd enjoying this one. Anderson, middle back. Zoe Albert, slide set and Mulder. 20 feet out the back door. 10-7, VCSU. And Brandon Stinson gets a chance to help out with the ball control back there. He's the sports information director here at Rocky Mountain College. Hospital, perfect to Marsh. Kincaid gets blocked, and it falls on the Rocky side of the net. Bridgie Look at Fridge in again. I know you're really getting tired of me making that mistake. I'll try here. I mean, there's nothing similar about those names, Fridgen and Fridgie. We'll work at it here. Here's Pospisil. Set out to West. What a good cover out there by Pospisil. West got absolutely rejected, and Pospisil got there, and that's a hitting error. Rockies within 3. Rosie Anderson comes up empty, and J.C. Richter back in the game on defense. Thanks to sponsors on the radio side: Heights Dairy Queen, Pharmacy One, Bill Sports Golf at Farm Bureau Insurance, Golden Nugget Body and Paint, and Rimrock Cabinet. Lauren Robacker, service error, 12-8. Also, Telewindow Store, Yellowstone Art Care, Levy, Council One Florida Home, Roger Daniel at Farmers Insurance, Universal Athletic, Pet Passages, Peak Embroidery, and American Water. Here's Purdue, covered on the serve, pushed over on the swing by Rachel White, who's in the game, and left out the back door. A rare miss for Mary Fridgen. So Rocky back within 3. Going onesies up the ladder here towards the end of the 4th set. Zoe Albert takes it back to serve from the left corner. Bridgie handles it. How about that dig for Zoe Albert? Quick hands. Man, to the back line. No, Meyer out the back door. 4-point lead for the Vikings. Audrey Beaumont can't be too far from the timeout here if you get a couple more points going the Vikings' way. Trying to see what you can do to slow things down. Madden Bogenreef will serve for Valley City State. Ace for Bogenreef. What's that off? 30 Meyer. And Valley City pulling away here. There's the timeout for Audrey Beaumont. 14-9, 4th set. Valley City leads 2-1. We're back in 60. The lead has drifted to a 5-point lead for the Vikings, and back to serve, Madden Bogenreef, the setter. Hagler back on the front row. She'll get some action. In the middle, Wood has to wait for it. It still works. Caitlin Wood hangs in the air. Put that helium button in her shoes. Could not come down, and just got enough finger on it to get it over the head of the defense. 14-10. Big side out for Rocky out of Audrey Beaumont's timeout. Pelican Cave back to serve. Cross court. Bogenreef sets up Hagler into the net. That's going to go under the net. Hagler with yet another kill. Really, really respectable numbers for Danielle Hagler, and the lead back to 5 as J.C. Richter goes back to serve for the Vikings. Early evening volleyball at the college level. Katie Meyer handles that. There's Caitlin Wood capturing the corner. Caitlin doesn't get cheated on that one. It's a 4-point game as Meyer goes back to serve. Into the game comes Josie West, all the way from Berrien County, Michigan. Here's Meyer. Skims it over the net. Looks for a baby shank. It's covered. Here's Hagler pushing to the back corner. There's Zoe Albert. Quick set. West has to flip it a little bit behind her. Bogenreed and a miss on the part of Bjornby. 2 3-point game. Swing and a miss. And now Michelle Micklejohn calls the timeout. Heart-pounding fourth set here. Rocky has to have it back in 60. Match also brought to you by American Water and Western Security Bank. And here goes Sadie Meyer out of the timeout. Casey Richter, perfect pass to Shoemaker. Down it goes. Hagler gets the side out. Much needed. As Coach Micklejohn calls her number out of the timeout. And Danielle Hagler pays it off again and again and again on the call from the setter. Delaney Clark, her team now up by 4. Hospital, Kincaid, West, the sets behind her, can't do much with it. Bogenreed into the block, kept alive by Bjornby. Cross court is Albert, quick shot, picked off at the net, kept alive, free ball by Delaney Clark. Here's Kincaid, Wood, on the corner, Wood delivers again. Caitlin Wood, the junior middle, hitting the spots, and Rocky gets the side out at 13, down by 3. And into the game comes Lindsay Lawrence for the Battling Bears. Lindsay back off the line, just missed the football. Delaney Clark perfect up to Bogenreed, and there it goes again. Going to hand to Morgan Fridgie. Running out of room on my stat sheet for Morgan Fridgie. Got to talk to her about that. 5'11" senior middle. Just keeps grabbing the stats. And Rosie Anderson in the game now, play right side. And back to serve, Gracie Shoemaker. The lead is back up to 4 for the Vikings. And make it 5. An ace off a Pospisil. Count the ace for Grace Shoemaker. 18-13. Critical time in this match and in this set. Rocky needs to find some stuff going on here. Here's West. Down the line, that's what you needed. West got left a little bit of daylight down the near corner, and she hit it. 18-14, Meredith March into serve. 18-14. And Mark, boy, she had MPH on that one. I'll get it out. Joey Robert with a big backside Kincaid out the back door, 19-14. Little too long from Ella Kincaid. The do-it-all person, Swiss Army knife on the Rocky Mountain squad this year. Brooke Anderson goes back to serve for the Vikings. So take a middle back. Zoe again with a good pass. Push to the back corner, and Felina finds the bottom. That was Rachel White. I'm sorry. Snuck in a Rachel on me there, and I got to give credit where credit is due. 19-15 now. Rachel White puts it down. She's from Orem, Utah. Lauren Rodacker back to serve. Rocky needs a run here. Front trade point. Backside. Pigeon. That's going to be down the second time. And guess what? Rachel White has 2 in a row. He's feeding that down. 19-16. The Rodacker back to serve again. Clark is perfect. The donut hole shot is going to be a success from the setter. It was dump shot by the setter. It's Valley City to 20-16. And Annika told you they go back to serve for the Vikings. Vikings trying to pick up their second win of the year. Service error for Podium. You know, there's mistakes happening. The door is being freaked open here and there for Rocky to come back. But they have not been able to put together multiple points, and now a service error is not going to help them. Lauren Rodacker shoots about a yard out the back door. And Valley City is 4 points away from a 3-1 win. Rocky lurking, though. They're at 17 as Madden Bogenreef goes back to serve. Got Mayville State here tomorrow on the YouTube channel. Tight to the net. Marsh Wood got on top of that one. Couldn't get it done. Off the top of the block. Covered by Rodacker. The quick to Caitlin Wood covered again. Hagler. What a great dig there for Elber, and then a swing and a miss for Wood. Caitlin Wood comes up empty. 22-17. Audrey Beaumont calls her team over, seeing if she can muster another comeback to send this to 5, but Valley City in the driver's seat. We're back in 30. This match also brought to you by Darla Jones, Big Sky Volley Fest AAU qualifier coming to Billings May 2nd and 3rd. 295 teams they had here for that tournament last year. Stockton Bank, Conlon's Furniture, Western Security Bank, American Water, Peak Embroidery, Tech Passages. Big thank you to those people as well as Earth Hotels who are Rocky Mountain and Frontier Conference volleyball sponsors. So glad to have them making these events possible. Bogenreef gets covered on the serve. There's Ella Kincaid. Audrey Beaumont dials up Ella Kincaid's number, and Ella delivers. And Ella Kincaid back to serve to take it cross court. Richter reaches in front of a teammate. Here's Hagler. What a dig for Ella Kincaid. Here's Meyer. She can't get it over the net. Out. Meyer goes for the tip. And there's just a few pieces of adrenaline short on that one. The adrenaline comes in pieces. Back to serve J.C. Richter. Valley City 2 points away from walking out of here with a victory. Their second conference victory. A reach for Rodacker, repeating. Kincaid takes it to Meyer. Stuck block. And Hagler goes up, puts up the wall to take Valley City with set point, match point. 24-18. Valley City State in their first conference appearance here. Ready to take this home. Quick shot, tip. The flying Ella Kincaid. Bjornby gets that one over with their head. That's a dig off the top of the head. Hagler hangs in the air. Rodacker steps in to make the play. Richter, Bogenreef, Hagler way out the back door. Rocky lives to play another set point, match point. 24-19. Sadie Meyer will try to keep Rocky hopes alive here. And Myers off it in on Richter. Golden Reed off the top of the block. That's it. On the outside, let's get the number of the winning kill. That's going to be Lucas. And Lucas takes it home for the Vikings. So 25-18 in the last set. And the Battlin Bears drop to 0-6 in conference, 0-10 overall. The Vikings will move to 4-7 and 2-4 in conference play. Let's take two, get our final stop, and wrap this up. Valley City gives up the second set to Rocky Mountain College and then wins with a couple of tight wins, 25-23 and 25-18 in the third and fourth sets. Let's take a little look here at the stats. Valley City State hit 118 on the match, 46 kills in 178 swings with 25 errors. Led by Danielle Hagler, time and time again came up with a big kill. She hit 15 kills in 36 swings, hit 333. Morgan Friggy, 9 of 24, 250. Mary Friggen, even their stats are similar. Names are similar, stats are similar. 9 kills for Macy. I think it's Mary, but anyway, one of us is right. 9 out of 36, 143. Defensively for Valley City, 36 digs for Richter. She was everywhere. 19 for Delaney Clark, 18 for Annika Poyu. For the game, 106 digs for Valley City, 92 for Rocky. For the Battling Bears, well, they had one good attack set. That was the second one that they won. Other than that, they hit 0 in the first set, 0-5-5 in the third, 0-2-3 in the fourth. Well, they were in this until about two-thirds of the way through that fourth set when the Vikings started pulling away. Caitlin Wood led the way on the attack, 15 kills, 33 swings. She hit 333, 10 for Josie West. And let's see, 9 for Sadie Meyer. Sadie Meyer had a really nice game. 32 digs for Zoe Albert, 14 digs for Kincaid. Dylan Pospisil had 9, 7 for Josie West. So coming up next for Rocky Mountain College, it's Mayville State. It'll be a battle of a couple of teams without wins, at least going into this match here tonight. 0-5 and now 0-6, or rather 0-6 for Rocky. So be listening or watching on the Rocky Mountain Athletic YouTube channel tomorrow night, as we will bring you that matchup here on the YouTube channel. Thanks to K-Sky and Jeremiah back there, who's taking care of the knobs and buttons and all that fun stuff for us here this afternoon. But that's going to wrap it up for tonight. In the first set, it was Valley City 25-14. Rockies took the second one 25-17. Vikings came back 25-23. And then 25-18. That's going to wrap it up from the Fortin Center here at Rocky Mountain College. I'm Herm Elenbaas. So long, everyone.